outside. Paying no heed to the chafing of the bricks through her white cotton blouse, Molly leaned heavily against the wall and lifted her face. The late August sun blistered down, giving off an intense heat, though it failed to reach the cold place where her heart sat. The scene before her compounded her misery as she gazed at the ruins of a house across the road. Her ears still zinged with the high-pitched noise caused by the explosion, and her body trembled with the shock of the reality of the first air raid experienced by London. Almost a week had passed since that day, 24th of August, 1940, when one of the many sirens that Londoners had become used to throughout the year had actually meant something. A week during which everyone's nerves had become frayed. Yes, it was thought the bomb that had destroyed the house and other buildings nearby had landed in the wrong place. But now the news was full of more to come, after Churchill's reprisal in bombing Berlin. But no one knew when it might happen. Mr. and Mrs. Hopkins, the tenants of the bombed-out house, had ignored the warning siren. Though badly injured, they had escaped with their lives. Only one wall of the house remained standing, and as if in defiance, the collapsed bedroom floor clung to it. Wedged at an angle against the ground, a double bed spewed from the gap. A wardrobe lay beside it, smashed into shards of wood, its hanging rail still attached, revealing clothes doing a haunting dance in the breeze, as smoke from the smouldering embers curled around them. Molly swallowed the urge to cry as she watched the workers clear the rubble. One of them stood near the corrugated iron air raid shelter that would have saved the couple from injury. He smiled as she looked across at him. Then he heightened her sense of humiliation as he let out a low wolf whistle. The gesture nearly undid her, but she fought the tears that prickled her eyes. Londoners didn't show such emotion on a whim. Never mind being frightened, or being treated as an object and not a person. You had to carry on, and you had to keep others going too. If you gave in, you would be lost, and Hitler would have won. With this thought, a new determination came over Molly. She had a job to go to, and at this rate she'd be late back after a lunch break. Returning into the house to collect her purse, she became worried by the sound of her dad snoring. He should have his butcher shop open by now. As it was, she knew they were losing business, and things didn't look good. Not wanting to chance going to wake him, as she feared facing her dad's wrath again, Molly slammed the door hard as she left. The action gave her some satisfaction. The noise it made would have scared him out of his slumber. They'd always been the affluent family in Sebastopol Road, in Edmonton. She remembered that her mum had wanted them to move to a better area, but her dad wouldn't have it. He'd said he needed to be amongst his own, as half of his business came to them because their neighbours all knew him as one of them. Cancer had taken her mum. At 10 years old, Molly had watched the ugly, slow deterioration of a beautiful, buxom woman into a skeletal, unrecognisable one. She could still feel the agony of her loss. Everyone said she looked like her mum did at her age. She could see this herself, when she dusted the lovely brass-framed wedding photo of her mum and dad, which stood on the piano in the parlour. Her mum had been beautiful, and Molly had inherited many of her qualities, the same sleek black hair and dark, flashing eyes. It wasn't these features that attracted men to her, though. It was her shape, something else she could attribute to her mum. With a small frame and over-large breasts, she'd always been teased that she'd been in the front of the queue when they were dished out. How often she'd wished she hadn't been. Her breasts were a curse, as far as she was concerned. Most men leered at her in one way or another. If not openly, then they did so with a sideways glance, giving her a wink if she caught them looking, as if they thought she wanted what they offered. Nothing could be further from the truth. Losing her mum at such a young age had taken away her confidence, and though she'd done well at school, being naturally clever, on leaving school she hadn't wanted to do anything that might entail going away from home. Not that there were many opportunities for girls to do so, although her brains would have got it into college to become a secretary.